Trades don't actually happen in professional wrestling. There's a war going on, don't you know? Neither WWE nor AEW are looking to strengthen their opposition, no matter the benefits that might come their way in exchange. No matter how much sense the trades may make, they simply will not happen. Still, doesn't hurt to speculate, does it? I'm Adam Wilborn from What Culture, and these are 10 trades WWE and AEW need to make. Number 10. Austin Gunn to WWE. Austin Gunn is in the wrong promotion. In another life, he would still be learning his trade in the WWE Performance Center, wearing one of those horrible grey t-shirts, having practice matches against equally inexperienced wrestlers and looking for a character to eventually bring to NXT TV. Like many second-generation superstars before him, Austin Gunn would be living the coddled life of someone who started life on the ladder. As it is, Austin is in AEW, having middling matches that don't seem to show much in the way of progress. What's more, AEW seems to have decided that the best way to use him is by aligning him with his father, former WWE Tag Team Champion and career mid-carder Billy Gunn. If Billy hadn't been released by WWE, it is almost certain that Austin would be in that performance center today. Number 9. The Riott Squad to AEW. Professional wrestling isn't always a world of clarity, but even in this crazy industry, 2 + 2 sometimes equals 4. AEW's women's division needs bodies. Talented women who can help bulk up a worryingly thin division. Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan are two talented women who are currently in WWE purgatory. WWE doesn't seem willing to give either woman the ball, something that becomes even more frustrating when you consider how ideal they are for AEW. Riott and Morgan are exactly the type of talent that the struggling women's division requires. Compelling performers who can give credibility and weight to the female mid-card whilst retaining the potential to challenge the Sheeta's title at any time. Number 8. Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford to WWE. There's something very sports entertainment about Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford. There is plenty of irony in that claim too, what with them being aligned with the recently liberated Miro, but Sabian and Ford give off a more WWE vibe than most of their colleagues. That could all be wrapped up in the arrogance and the beauty, two attributes that WWE still seem to understand. Even as individuals, the two feel better suited to Vince McMahon's empire than Tony Khan's fledgling promotion. Sabian is a classic hubristic heel, all good looks and punchability, while Penelope Ford is an undeniably gorgeous woman with plenty of in-ring potential within. Ford could grow into a big star no matter the promotion. In many ways, Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford come across as a less sinister version of Karrion Kross and Scarlett. And yes, I mean much less sinister. Kip and Penelope have plenty of potential and plenty of ability too, but it is possible that those attributes would be better harnessed in the aesthetic-centric world of WWE. Number 7. Aleister Black to AEW. Take a seemingly can't-miss prospect that WWE has botched and move them to AEW is going to be a common theme throughout this, so buckle up on that front. The barrage of misused talent begins with Aleister Black, a man who seems to have fallen off the face of the sodding earth in recent weeks. Losing eye will do that to you, apparently. It wasn't a million years ago that Aleister Black was the NXT champion, don't forget, an unbeatable badass who had consistently great matches in front of molten hot crowds. There are even rumours of Paul Heyman being a big supporter, although that should have been more of a harbinger than people realised. Take Lesnar and Punk out of the equation, and the success of supposed Paul Heyman guys leaves a lot to be desired. Black has been treated like dirt on the main roster. Word on the grapevine is that he's been hankering for a return to NXT, but he would be better off in an entirely different promotion. Whether booked as a sinister heel or an ass-kicking babyface, Tommy End would be a great fit in AEW's present and future. Number 6. Big Swole to WWE. There's a lot to love about Big Swole. The Florida native exudes babyface fire, accentuated by a physical charisma that cannot be manufactured. Swole may have found herself a little over her head in her short AEW career to date, but she has shown more than enough potential to suggest that a long career lies ahead of her. Would she be better suited to developing, though, in NXT? AEW's women's division is disastrously thin, meaning Swole needs to take a more prominent role than she may well be ready for. On the contrary, NXT's women's division is arguably the strongest in American professional wrestling, with Io Shirai standing atop a mountain that includes Rhea Ripley, Candice LeRae, Shotzi Blackheart, Dakota Kai, and plenty more. Swole would benefit greatly from growing underneath these established performers. Number 5. Chad Gable to AEW. Put Chad Gable in any other pro wrestling promotion on the planet, and you've got yourself a star. A genuine wrestling genius, Gable has everything it takes to become a major player in the industry. His in-ring skills are elite level, he has a weird charisma that is entirely his own, and he's just about as credible as a professional wrestler can be. He has it all. The only thing that Chad Gable doesn't have is height. You may have noticed he used to wear a ruler on his top. Barring the lightning strike of another Daniel Bryan-style swell of popularity, Gable will never progress beyond his current frustrating level in WWE. This plainly isn't true in AEW, a promotion that focuses more on strengths and weaknesses. A move to AEW could see Gable become the human suplex machine that he so plainly can be, a powder keg of technique and strength, out-wrestling anyone foolish enough to cross his path. Number 4. SCU to WWE. The time has come for Christopher Daniels to finally get that legacy run in WWE. His career deserves it, although the prospect of a WWE contract has never carried less value. Still, the fallen angel may well finish his career as one of the greatest never to get a proper WWE run. If nothing else, the inexperienced bodies in the Performance Center could really do with someone like Daniels to learn from. If Daniels is going, it makes sense for Frankie Kazarian to go with him. Seemingly evergreen Kaz has years of in-ring competition ahead of him, but it's difficult to see where he fits in AEW moving forward. Sure, it's always nice to see the former tag champion showcasing his skills on Dark or even on Dynamite, but the crowded scene ahead of him suggests his fans can expect little more than secondary show appearances. Daniels and Kazarian could prove even more valuable in WWE, NXT specifically. There really is little left for them to do in AEW, a somewhat shocking state of affairs when you consider the brief existence of that company. And WWE may hate tag team wrestling, but there's plenty more that these two veterans have to offer. Not Scorpio Sky though, keep that guy in AEW. He's going to be a superstar. Number 3, Ricochet to AEW. Poor Ricochet. Is there a more depressing status in all of modern day pro wrestling? WWE's inability to do anything meaningful with a generational talent like Ricochet tells you all you need to know about that promotion's creative malaise. And before anyone talks about promo cutting ability, that argument has never carried weight. Besides, Ricochet shouldn't have to cut promos. He should just be left to fly around like only he can, performing athletic feats that have the ability to amaze even the most cynical of viewers. Even Michael Sidgwick. Ricochet should be a star. Only WWE can explain why he isn't. If Ricochet were an AEW talent, he'd almost certainly be appreciably closer to reaching his potential. He'd be having amazing matches with Kenny Omega, Pac, Jon Moxley, Hangman Page, and all the rest, looking like a star and making moments built to last. He'd have ample opportunity to prove the naysayers wrong, to spread his wings and display his full range of talents. Seriously, how the do you fail to make a star out of Ricochet? Number 2, Santana and Ortiz to WWE. Alright, yes, WWE is a pretty wretched place for most tag teams. There is a reason why FTR were so desperate to get out after all. Vince McMahon's distaste for tag team wrestling goes way back, so any tag team signing with his company needs to be ready for potential disappointment. With that in mind, why would Santana and Ortiz be better off in WWE? Better off might not be the best way to put it, but as of right now, the former LAX aren't really getting the chance to shine between the ropes. The duo has shuffled down the tag team ranks in AEW, going from top of the table to pseudo-comedy feuds to kind of being disgruntled at the faction growing, and that's about it. Where are they going? The busy see that is AEW's tag team division will inevitably create some spare parts, and the former Proud and Powerful might be the most misused of these. The team has a tremendous combination of character, charisma, and in-ring ability, and it isn't hard to envisage an NXT that has Santana and Ortiz ruling the tag division with an iron fist. And number 1, Samoa Joe to AEW. For the briefest moment, it looked as though WWE knew what it was doing when it came to to the Samoan submission machine. Joe was the #1 contender to Brock Lesnar's Universal Championship, and he had the Beast Incarnate rattle, not to mention the fear of God that he'd put into Paul Heyman. Lesnar and Joe had a tremendously fun match at WWE Great Balls of Fire. Remember that? A match that Joe lost but came out looking like a beast. And then nothing. Alright, not entirely nothing, there have been secondary championships, but as 2020 draws to a close, one of the most engaging professional wrestlers on the planet finds himself forcing excitement at the commentary table. AEW has a proven track record of succeeding where WWE refused to. Jon Moxley, Cody, FTR, and others are excelling in the relaxed, creativity-driven environment. There's no reason to believe that AEW would fail to embrace the violence and legitimacy that Samoa Joe brings to the table. Injuries mean that Joe's days in the ring are numbered, and it is criminal that these moments are being wasted in WWE. And that's our list. Did we miss any out? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. You can let us know your thoughts on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE, and watch there, follow me at Adam Wilborn. Thanks for watching. I've been Adam from What Culture, and I'll see you soon.